Okay, so if you're wondering what happened, I blue screened. So that's what happened. If there's anyone that decided to watch the VOD or anything like that, we still have the Dokibird game jam up here, which is nice. Why is it not sticking? Oh. Did not mean to do that. I don't know why it doesn't want to move. Can I alphabetize this? What's going on? Have I just had it up separate? No. Okay. What icon should I use? Pistol. Yeah. Alright, so I do not have crouching. I guess you can consider you can consider running as like the basic movement, I guess. We got, yeah, move forward, backwards. So yeah, that's the stuff that I have. This is the stuff that I need to do. Controller support shouldn't be too difficult. The problem is I don't have a controller near me right now, so I can't really like work on that. I mean, I could add in the implementation for it, but there's no way to like properly check it unless I have a controller with me. Miru, how's it going? Sorry if I butcher your name. I need to... So I guess I can say that that's done. I can say that that's all done. I'm going to clear all of these. I'm not going to worry about a date. I need to work on this game jam because I feel like I am very far behind, and this ends next Saturday, so I need to start busting my ass. Oh, you're all good. Yeah, it's Miku. I have a few different mouse cursors. Where is it? Yeah, there's Miku. I have Suisei. Neru. I thought I had... Well, I have the icons for it, but... I think I have Ui. Oh, that's not the right one. And there's Susei. There's Millie Parfait. Oh yeah, here's Ui Mama. Yeah. Yeah, the pencil rotates. There's that. All that fun stuff. Yeah, then this is Millie. I don't use the Millie one anymore. Let's see. Yeah, I got all this done. And then that's not, I guess I can, honestly, I kind of just, copy pasted, this movement code from an older project. So Pause menu, I could probably work on that today. Running, I guess you could technically call it for this as well. Oh, that's crouching. I do not have crouching, so I'm going to put this under no sprints. Clear that. I don't currently have any crouching, so please move up. Alright, yeah, so that's going under no sprint. Interactions, I don't have any interactions currently, so I can't really work on that either. So this is going to go under there. Movement, I can work on that. UI navigation, that can be worked on, since I have to do pause menu. Smooth crouching, this is gonna go under... I can't remove it. And I can't clear it either. And scrolling up doesn't want to work. There we go. Alright, let's just clear all these dates. Whoops. Because this is from a board that I duplicated. Stream elements, shut up. I don't care, dude. Alright, so I'd have to go and find a controller that I have in order to work on these. But that shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see. This can also go into sprint 2. Let's see. Character combat crouching. I think that's the best that I can think of for right now. So we can move that. The big thing is going to be all the Blender stuff that I'm gonna have to learn, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. Crouching, no. Interactions, no. I thought there was, yeah. UI select. Status. What's the difference? Oh, this is like a separate way how it's laid out. So, yeah, these are in progress. Okay, I understand. It's been a while since I've had to use this kind of format. I'd probably say that these are up towards like a 2 or a 3. I'm just gonna set all the Blender stuff at a 2. Because without assets, I don't really have a game. I'm not gonna worry too much about controller interactions. At least for right now. That's not a super huge thing. Pretty much as soon as I have like the stuff implemented for keyboard and mouse, it's pretty easy to translate it over to controller. Character combat, that's like a main core of the game, so that's gonna have to jump up significantly. I think what I also need to add is, well, level, because I plan on having 3 levels. Beginning slash tutorial level. So like the first half is going to be talking about like the combat of the game, or like the mechanics of the game, not the combat. How the mechanics of the game works. Level 2 would be the climax, and then the last level would be like, or I think I could simply narrow it down to just 2 levels of intro and rising action, and then level 2 would be climax and resolution. I think that is a lot more manageable when I break it down that way, honestly. Yes, it's going to be a short game, but that's also the point of a game jam, where it's supposed to be a quick game. Because you have a limited amount of time to do what you can. So scene. So we could do. So one thing that I like how some games do it is that you have a 3D scene that's part of the pause menu, or the main menu, I should say. I don't know how feasible that is. So for the time being, I think I'm just gonna make it a simple UI and call it there. If I want to spruce it up a little bit, I can change it. So main menu. Okay. So let us oh shit. Oops. Move icon. Combat UI type. Type UI. Priority of that as a 3. I'll just give it game type of UI. I'm not going to worry about a sprint. I thought there's another UI. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now then. Oh man, oh. Actually, yeah, I think that being there is fine. It is a thundering outside right now. UI. We'll have let's see. Let's see, we'll have pause menu as one UI scene, and then we'll have do I put controller UI under the player, or do I just have it under just the UI? That's what I'm not 100% sure on. I think I'm just going to do this. I think I'm just gonna have it as that. And then I already have the controller icon, so I could work on that. Alright, I'm gonna bring up one of my previous projects, since I already have that implementation. It was in 4.3, and just to make sure that everything works, I'm still gonna use 4.3. It takes forever because the previous artists who worked on this game was their imports didn't work, and we only had like one person importing the game. All right. So I need to go to where is it? Controller input. And then I'm essentially just gonna copy paste everything. So I'm gonna have a sprite 2D. Sprite 2D. And then we're going to have a label. I'm just going to hide the label for the time being because I don't think the label really has anything. The sprite, the texture that we are going to use is going to be the icons, and for this it's going to be 74 because that's how large it is between the icons. Transform. For whatever reason, it says that the scale is 0.58, which I'm inclined to do. 0.58. Probably because it looks good for that size, because the icons are quite large. So if we were to run it, yeah, icon is up over there, so yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. I'm not too worried about it currently. Alright, let's skip this song. Alright, actually I think what I'm gonna do is nah, I'll have it in it. I'll have it in the scripts file. I was debating if I wanted it right next to each other or what, but I think I'm just gonna have it in the scripts file. So attach script, controller, UI, and we're going to not have it there. We are going to have it in the scripts folder. Actually, I'm gonna rename this instead of controller UI because that kind of gives the wrong impression. I'm going to rename this as rename controller icons, and then this will also get renamed to controller icon, and then attach script controller icon GD. I do not want it under the scenes. I want it underneath scripts. Then we're going to create that, and then so I need to get references. This is just gonna check is underscore button underscore pressed equals false. I actually don't think you need to do this. It's kind of an optional thing. And then bar device underscore ID equals -1, because if it equals -1, then that means that there's no controller connected, because the way that it works in Godot is that, well, it kind of just goes based off an array, and if an array is not like initialized or anything, or there's nothing in the array, then that essentially means that if there's nothing in the array, then it's -1. But if there is a single item in the array, then that means that that first item is in 0, not 1, 0. Then at export var action underscore name string. The reason for this right here is this scene is going to be added into this is going to be added into other scenes, so just giving it the name of the action. This action is also going to take, like whatever you type into it is going to be the name of the action that the icon is going to show up with. So there's that. And then we do at, oops, on ready var name label equals, and I cannot type. I guess just for consistency, I can also do it here. Bool. And then this would be of type int or integer. I don't know why string is the only one that is capital. It's kind of weird. And then we got at on ready var icon sprite 2D equals, oh my god, sprite 2D. And then I'm just going to copy paste this. This is going to be for PlayStation. That's specifically for PlayStation. This is going to be specifically for Xbox controllers. You notice that I'm reusing the number 8 right here. It's the same joystick. There's no reason. And you can tell that I just copy pasted this. I think these are yeah. It's because they're the same number, or they occupy like the same number for, I think, the X's trigger and this. So just easier that way. I don't think I need to worry about using any sort of triggers at all, whether it's left or right trigger. So that should be fine. And then we got keyboard. So this is specifically for my sprite sheet. So if we were to look, you see that joy button A, which is X for PlayStation. If we were to look at the sprite sheet, controller icons. So remember that X is 0. That means that it's the first part of the array, if you remember earlier when I was talking about arrays. So I mean, it's technically like an array. This is specifically for the first icon, so it's looking at spot, or it's looking at the first spot, which is 0, which is what this is, and then it does that entire thing all the way down. So like, right here, key A. So if we were to count 0 to 58, that would be right here. If we were to count it like a human being, then this would actually be at spot 59, where with all the other controllers where they're at. So if anyone is using this in the future. So here I'm just looking at the code that I made previously, because it's easier to do. It's easier to look at something that I already did than to try and figure it out again. So self underscore, and then this function right here is one we're going to make. So underscore joy connection underscore changed. That's going to be a function that we create. So right under the process, we're going to do a function joy underscore connection underscore changed. And then we're going to do device ID. That will take type int. And then we'll have connection, and that'll be of type bool. That's going to be a void function. So it's not going to return anything. And then we'll just do pass for the time being. Well, we can, just so we don't confuse ourselves, we will say that this is our new device ID instead of just device ID, since we already have a device ID a variable initialized up here. So just so we're not confusing ourselves. And if you program with like C# or anything like that, then you'll know that that is somewhat of a standard practice that is worked on. And then we'll do whoops, not that. We'll do if input dot get underscore connected joypads. This is a built-in function from Godot. Dot size greater than 0. That would do self dot device ID equals the input get underscore connected joypad 0. And then the device ID, once again, that's going to be, this will get updated when when we detect that a controller is connected. That is going to get updated. Not only am I talking, even though I already know what's going on here, I'm just talking out loud just so I remember what each of these do. This self dot name label dot text equals self dot action name, because when we get the action name, which is what we're having as our export, then the label that that's what's going to have. And then what we're also going to be doing, so that that icon actually shows the action name, we'll do a self.icon dot frame. What's frame? Oh yeah, because it's because we're using a sprite sheet. See, this is why I wanted to talk about it, so then I could question what what I was doing in the past, because we're doing. I just pointed to my monitor to show. You see the where it says current frame to current frame to display from sprite sheet H frame or H frame or V frames must be greater than 1. Notice how we set our H frames to big number, so then we can get that underscore. Well, before we do that, we need to make a function. Self dot. I can still type it out. So dot frame equals self dot. Oh my god. I need to try and move stuff so I can actually have proper typing space. So we'll do self dot. Oh my god, I cannot type. This is going to be another function that we're going to create. So we're going to call it get current icon. Oh my god. Index. Index. Self dot device ID, and we'll do self dot action name. So now, because it's yelling at us that we don't have that, we're going to do function underscore. Well, I should be able to. Oh, it's not. Fuck. I'm used to working in Visual Studio because of my job, and when you don't have a function, it creates the function for you, and my brain wants to do that. Underscore current underscore icon underscore index, and then whoops, and then once again we'll say new device ID, so we don't confuse ourselves. This is also going to be of type int, and then new underscore action underscore name, and this will be of type oh my god, string, and then we'll just pass it for the time being so I can actually see what I need to do. I can actually finish this one because I kind of skipped over that. So if connection, so we're seeing if a controller is connected, and if it is, then self dot device ID equals new device ID, else self dot device ID equals -1. The reason why we do this is because when a new device ID or a new device is connected, then we want to increment it up to the new device ID. So whatever this becomes, we want to set the device ID to that. If we disconnect it, then we want to reinitialize or set it back to its default value, which is -1. In this case, if a device ID is -1, then that means we have or we don't have anything connected, and it will show the icons for keyboard and mouse. So self dot. Oh, whoops. Did I fuck that up? No, I didn't. This is actually used twice, I think. It is and it isn't. in the sense that when I call this, I don't do self action name, I just do action name. That's really the only difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. All right. And then what else am I doing? So this is for joy connection change, which is good. That's what we want. All right.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
So now I feel like I might get copyrighted if I play that, so we'll play something else. All right. So now we are working on the current index. So when we get current index, this is our main meat and potato. So so for action in input, oh my god, dude, input map action underscore get events. This is where we get our action name. So if you're wondering how we actually change the icon, this is where we're getting it from. So then if action is input event key and new device ID equals -1, which means it's a controller, or not controller, it's a keyboard, or nothing is connected, then we return keyboard button to index mapping, and then we do action dot physical underscore, right? Physical underscore key code. Unless it's changed, but that should be correct. Not giving me an error, so I got that going for me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna copy the rest of these. So if action is input event joypad, because joypad is for controller. Joypad is different from joy motion. Joy motion is for the analog sticks, or this current time also refers to the triggers as well, because for whatever reason they decided that triggers will also be a axis button instead of a button, which I'm gonna blame the PS5 for that. But yeah. So we got PS5, PS4, and PS3. And then Xbox is always just X input. So there's that. And when everything is said and done, we return -1 if there is nothing. And then we could do a print statement of like what the device ID name is, or yeah, like what index the device ID is. So like if I were to do print input dot get underscore joy underscore name, we do device underscore ID. Hey, look, nothing shows. Because we ain't got nothing. Well, this is specifically for the name. What was the print input dot get underscore, is it connected joypads? Oops, did not mean to close that. It doesn't really matter too much. And then if I were, okay. All right, so that's not quite the correct thing. I thought there was, well, there is a way to do it, but I currently cannot remember it is, or what it is apparently. That's raw strength, that's action strength, access, get connected joypads. That returns an int. I guess I could do this, but that's not really going to prove anything really, because I can't have -1. Because arrays like to freak out if you do something stupid like that. It's besides the point anyways. Yeah, this should pretty much work. And then all that I really have to do is just import this scene into another scene. And then pretty much cache. Shouldn't really be too difficult for implementation. So I guess I can technically check off. Well, this is just generic controller support. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This should at least be it for movement. Alright, I think that should be fine. I don't think there's anything else I need from this project. So I should just be able to close it. So let me go find a controller real quick. I think I know where one is, but I'm still going to go look for one. Oh, I just bumped my foot against something. It didn't really hurt. I just made a noise because I made a noise. Anyways. I'm gonna assume that as soon as I plug in this controller, it's gonna change my audio source. So I'm expecting that to happen. Alright. Well, I'm pretty sure it's connected. So if we were to run this, whoops. So if we were to run this, we see it says PS5 controller. So that's the controller that I have. If we were to go into the test scene, we should be able to move with our controller. Look at that. Our little guy. So we can confirm that movement and looking, I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but we can confirm that these two are now working. And then sprint view. Yeah, we can confirm that those are done. Shouldn't be too difficult to get the controller UI stuff done and implemented. Sorry, I was thinking of like pause menu stuff on how I want to do that. I don't know. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see. I think the main things are going to be the blender one. Same with character combat. But whoops. That is no board. Oh, type. I don't know. Enemy AI. That's gonna be a big one. Select character to move. I think that's gonna be it for me, at least for stream wise. I like to stream every little bit to like show what's happening. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here, and do some more stuff off stream. I'm hungry and tired, so I'll probably get a food and a nap. I'll get a food, yes, I will get a food, but that's my plan. I might stream some more tomorrow. We'll see how things go. I kind of hope the weather lines up a bit so I can work on my car, because I was going to do the brakes and rotors, but it's been raining very hard, so I'm going to end it here. Okay, bye.